Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Byronio B. And today I'm here to talk to you about our wonderful and lovely new draft league here, Hell's Kitchen Season 1, sponsored by a Jazz. Huge shout out to Go Sword and Jazz for hard carrying the draft picks and updating the doc. Something RPA would know nothing about. Up your game, RPA. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Big shout out to everybody who helped me make this draft, and shout out to everybody who told me to leave my second and third picks all up to a coin flip. Also, Jas, this one's for you. Figured we'd rep the same shirt there. So I figured, present, preach. New shelf in the background, new bed layout, so, enjoy the background unless you're too busy looking at me. So let's just dive right into this. So I had fourth pick overall. Dragapult! 20 points. What I will say about this Pokemon is I've never used it in draft, but I think it is versatile enough to do anything and everything you need it to do except be bulky. A little bit of a theme for this team is I really like the it was around in early Gen 8. It was a Hex Pult set. You'd run T-Wave or Will-O-Wisp, and you'd pair it with some things like Toxapex and Corsola, and you'd spread status over the entire team, and then you come in late game with a Specs Hex or sub leftovers. I think the number one set that I saw most of the time that was like a Life Orb Hex to just really just nuke stuff. But I'm not even limited to just that set. Most of the time, I just liked having it as an option to do. But D-Dance, Dragon Darts, Phantom Force, like the physical ghost moves are like so I always have to sacrifice on that kill power or the unreliability of Phantom Force. But I can't complain. This Pokemon is really good. But that leads me to my next pick here. Lando T. So Lando T went all the way around, because it's a snake draft, right? We get down to our last pick, all the way back up, and I get Lando T. Intimidate. I mean, like, Lando T is just another Pokemon you can do whatever you want with. There's very little you can't do with this Pokemon. I'm really excited to pair it with the other Ice Weak Pokemon. What's wrong with like a little ice weakness? It never hurt anybody. Yeah, we don't have to talk about Weavile. We don't have to talk about Shanpao being legal. If I don't acknowledge its existence, I won't have to fight it. Simple as that. Intimidate, U-turn, Rocks, Defogger, really whatever I need it to do into any given matchup. And I know the concrete sliding is going to be annoying as fuck, but I don't care. It's a good bit, in my opinion. Galade, my beloved. How I got these three draft goats back to back to back, I do not know. I'll never know how I managed to get all three. But this right here is going to be the main three that I bring every week without fail. Mega Galade, Lando T, and Dragapult. Mega Galade, in my opinion, is a little one note in what it does, but it offers so much of that. It just clicks buttons and you die, and that's fine by me. SD, Bulk Up, Psycho Cut. I do believe it gets Sharpness in this league. I could be wrong. But if it has Sharpness, it's going to just be an absolute fucking demon to switch into. You're going to have a hard time switching into any of my threats because I have a nice offensive core there with Lando, Dragapult, Galade, right? So that's like, one thing wants to switch into Dragapult. Well, we'll assume it's Special Pult, Pivot, Landorus, and this Galade. And it's like, okay, yeah, you all Landorus. Mega Galade is going to be clicking close combat on your ass, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's not much else to say about, like, Galade here. It's a really cool Pokemon. I look forward to using it. Primarina! My fairy type, my water type, we love a good bit of roll compression. This Pokemon can hit hard on the special side. It can prevent healing. It gets Flip Turn. It gets Calm Mind. You can run it with an Assault Vest. But the main thing is that it is a good Dragon Resist. It's a good bulky water, and it does exactly what I need it to do. I don't know what else to say about this Pokemon. Just good coverage, gives me an Ice Resist if we ignore Freeze Dry. But I really think that I was cooking. I was cooking with this pick. Round 4 is kind of crazy, but this Pokemon tends to go fast because it's a lower point Pokemon. So why even let it get away from me? Because if I didn't, I would have to draft Tapu Fini, and that would be such a travesty to me. I'm lying. Next pick, Magnezone. I've been getting clowned for this pick super heavy because Magneton is 2 points lower than it. I don't care. I like Magnezone, and it's been a running joke since I started drafting that I was going to build Dragmag. So now I have this. Now the kicker. Oh, Byron, your ground weaknesses, they're atrocious. Nah, Magnezone gets Levitate in this league. That's all I need to say. This gives me a steel type. It gives me something to break some water types. It gets Levitate. How this made it around, I don't know, man. It was just a running theme. You know, that I got sniped on one thing this entire draft, and it's fucking Silvally. Everything, I can't even say I got sniped on like Mega Gallade or Landorus if they got taken, because that wouldn't be sniping. They're draft staples. But I got all three, and then I proceeded to build out my Fantasy Core. My Firewater Grass is yet to come, but my Fairy Dragon Steel, I think it is one of the best that I've seen in the league, at least in my opinion. Just the utility, the pivoting ability of them, and then the supporting Pokemon surrounding them. So the next up, my original draft plan was to get Mega Dragonite. It has Drizzle in this league, and I was going to build a Soft Rain team. Because Jas was really like, you Toxicroak, it gets Flip Turn and Poison Touch, and it's so good. I was not falling for your propaganda, Jas. Toxicroak is a washed up bum. You want to know who's better? Overquill. That's my guy. Mortal Spin, Toxic Spike, spreads those hazards, gives me a Dark type, gives me another thing with Intimidate, man. Physical attackers don't get to exist into my team, and special attackers have to deal with Primarina. Like, this is an insane Pokemon, especially with Mortal Spin. I am just so ready to figure out what this Pokemon does. I know it hits decently hard. If I can ever set up Rain, this thing can become a sweeper pretty fast. It's at a nice 85 speed tier, I think. So that way with a Scarf, if there's ever a particularly problematic Ghost, Fairy, I can kill shit. And with Barb Barrage plus Toxic Spikes and my Hazard Control, I think this Pokemon was a good round 6 pick. Just because I noticed it went early in Pool 1, relatively early. So I wasn't going to let this Pokemon go. Because if I didn't get this, I was going to get Drapion. And Drapion, I love it, but I think this is Drapion but better. Pick number 7, Tsareena. Listen, I needed a Grass type. I needed a Rapid Spinner. This thing prevents priority, which I found out is more important in draft leagues than it used to be, or maybe I was just immune to it. Sorry, hydration break. Very thirsty boy over here. I think Tsareena is going to be a very fun Pokemon to use. I mean, you're always bringing Boots, you're always bringing Assault Vest, but I could bring Choice Band. And I want whoever sees this to know that. Prep for it, because the week that you don't is the day you get hit with the drop kick of doom, woe, and despair. Many ill fates upon you, brother. Even I'm starting to get pissed off by the slide transition. Volcarona, Quiver Dance Merchant, Flame Body Abuser. I'm not doing anything with this Pokemon other than clicking Quiver Dance. Like, I don't have to do anything else with this Pokemon. I don't have to be creative. I don't have to bring any heat. The heat is I click Quiver Dance, Fiery Dance, and Bug Buzz until you die, and then you go, Swampert time, Giga Drain. So this Pokemon's stupid. Got it like round 8. Good Pokemon. Special Bulk. Nice. The Flame Body's the biggest thing, though. And I think with the hazard control that I have going on, I think I can afford to run Boots on this thing. Or if I ever really don't want to run Boots and I really want to run Lefties or Rocky Helmet to really capitalize on punishing those physical attackers, which my team has no issue with, none whatsoever. But it's another good way to spread status, and I think it will contribute a lot to the team. Plus, I never got to use it in draft, and I think it could be a potentially fun Pokemon to use, and it's always something you have to be prepared for unless you have like 3 or 4 checks to it on your team. But it's always in the back of your mind that if Volcarona is there, you have to be wary of it and you have to respect it, and I love Pokemon like that. RPA, my Pokemon like that was Ursaluna and Urshifu. They're just Pokemon that, you might have a good matchup into it, but you still have to respect them and be wary of them, because if they show up in team preview, immediately have to respect them and just keep your checks alive. This is a Pokemon that punishes you heavily for not keeping your checks alive and uselessly sacking them early in the game when this Pokemon exists. Just a late game cleaner too. Like one Quiver Dance is all I really need to really just get the ball rolling in a late game situation, to really just kind of clean up a lot of Pokemon. But like, there's not a lot else to say about Volcarona, right? We all know what it's going to do. We all know that I'm not going to be creative with it. My goat, Licky Licky. I love him. I now have one of every immunity, right? I got the flying immune to ground, got the steel immune to poison, got the ground immune to electric, I got the normal immune to ghost, I got the ghost immune to normal and fighting, and I got like one of each immunity, so that's awesome. This Pokemon beats ghost types really hard. It gave me some wish support. It gave me just a fat Pokemon that I can bring and kind of just eat hits. Wish Pass, click Toxic, T-Wave. I think this thing gets T-Wave. If it doesn't, then I'm clicking Toxic. Not really, like, I've beaten one person with a curse set one time with Licky Licky, but, like, the chances of that happening again are very low. It also gets Knockoff, which this team, I noticed, doesn't get a lot of, so I'm glad that this will be able to help remove some items for me. Not a lot else to say about it. It was just a value low-tier pick. And the next 2 picks are just kind of fucking meme picks. You know, not meme picks, but I had points and I needed to get to 10 drafts total. So then, Lantern. I struggle with water types a little bit. Water immunity. Just another pivoter. It's good into certain matchups if there's a really threatening water type special attacker. This Pokemon just does it all. It can do anything you need it to in terms of eating hits, T-Wave again, Scald. Like, it'll just be a fat Pokemon that's annoying to deal with. I'm not going to say a lot about it because the chances of it coming are incredibly low, but that doesn't mean you don't prep for it, because the one time you don't, Lantern's going to come in and he's going to fuck you up with Charge Beam. I know. It's happened to me. And then last pick. Mega Absol is 2 points. Need I say more? Magic Bounce? 2 points? Shit, if there's a matchup where Mega Gallade isn't good, which is highly unlikely, but if it ever happens, I've got Mega Absol. But with that being said, that's my draft for this season. I think I did really well. I think I've improved. My speed tiers are phenomenal as compared to the Trick Room team that I built last season for RPA. I think this is infinitely better, and I think my team is a lot more respectable. It's not that I just have big bunguses that'll hit you really hard. I now have Pokemon that allow me to pivot into the big bunguses, which is very important to have. But with that being said, thank you everybody at Hell's Kitchen. Thank you for letting me be a coach. I'm going to have a lot of fun this season. I forgot how fun draft was. So I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the work, and good luck to all the other coaches. You're going to need it. I'm here. I'm going to be bringing Special Mega Gallade week 1. Be ready for that.